Good morning. This is Judge Alyssa Perez presiding over the 210th District Court criminal docket for October 25th, 2022. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Mr. Barufo, would you call our first case, please?
Yes, Judge. In cause number 2022-0D0-2830 and 2020-0D0-4283, State of Texas versus Christopher Jesus Lozano. Announcement of counsel, please.
Javier Salcedo, Assistant District Attorney for the state, ready to proceed on both cases.
And Myrna Pages for Mr. Christopher Lozano. We are ready as well, Judge.
And Mr. Lozano is appearing remotely. We are scheduled for a probation status hearing and then judges conference today. I have reviewed, I'm assuming the new case is on track. I don't know. Do we know anything on the new case, Mr. Salcedo? What are you all recommending on that case?
Your Honor, in looking at the case ending in 2830, it appears that that case was dismissed.
That's been dismissed?
Judge, we had provided a non-pros to Ms. Rago a while back, and she was verifying that, and that was what the intent was to dismiss that case, although I have not seen a dismissal on it, though. And I don't recall you signing it.
Oh, there it is, October 20th. Let me get it. Oh man, computer's really slow. Yep, dismissed on October 20th, prosecutorial discretion. So it's in the new file. I mean, it's in that case in the Odyssey.
Okay.
So we're just dealing with the probation case then. All right. So, Miss Carla, what are probation's concerns?
Your Honor, according to the recent report, Mr. Lozano has been referred to TAP, and he has been non-compliant with some appointments.
And we just came off a bench warrant, right? Back in July?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
This was to have he was released so that he can attend and he can have the referrals made for EHN, because that was a concern that he possibly needed some kind of treatment. He was screened, and he does have a caseworker through EHN Tacoma. It stated that he did go to the appointment, Your Honor.
Carla, can I just interrupt you for a
Yes,
second? Is this the gentleman who, I think Ms. Pages, you handled the bond hearing where the dad came in as well? Yeah.
Yes, Judge.
Yeah. Okay. I remember. Mr. Lozano. All right. And we're still not compliant. So Ms. Pages, go ahead. And then I guess your client wanted to say something. Sorry, Carla. I think I'm up to speed. I didn't mean to just cut you off. Go ahead, Ms. Pages.
Yes, Judge, I guess since we don't have access to the probation reports, if I can find out how many TAP appointments he's missed and when he was referred to TAP.
Carla, can you send the case summary to Ms. Pages? What I would like to do is we'll go ahead and give you all a minute, Ms. Pages. My thought is we'll put you and Mr. Lozano in a breakout room and you can review the report, talk to him, and then come back. Because quite frankly, I'm at a bench warrant for Mr. Lozano. He's been non-compliant and the court has gone above and beyond to accommodate everything, no, I don't want to talk to you right now, Mr. Lozano. When he wanted to go to Houston, come back, he's never been compliant. He's never been compliant. So I'm quite done. So
Okay, Judge. And does Mr. Salcedo, does he have a recommendation? And I don't believe a motion to adjudicate has been filed by the state, right?
no, I think we came off the last one. It was dismissed because he was going to comply with treatment. He got out, all kinds of things. When was he placed on probation, Carla? I know it's on the report.
Burglary of building?
No, when he was probated a year ago, more than a year ago. So, yeah, let's go ahead and put them. We're going to put you in a breakout room with your attorney, Mr. Lozano. She's going to get the probation report so she can talk to you about that, and then we'll come back to your case. In the interim, if Valverde is available, Carla, that'd be great. But if not, if she's busy, that's fine. Let's move on to the next
Yes,
case.
Your Honor.
Mhm. That's for you, Mr. Lozano, and your attorney.
Okay, Judge, on page 7, middle of page 7,
Mhm.
in cause number 2020 0D04070, State of Texas versus Elizabeth Rios. Announcement of council, please.
And I believe that's Mr. Sutton, Your Honor, but I will announce Javier Salcedo and Kent Sutton for the state ready to proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, Kent Sutton filling in for Ms. Delaney.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jesse Herrera for Ms. Rios.
Okay, good morning. Scheduled final hearing plea deadline. I believe, Mr. Herrera, you filed a motion for continuance. I actually don't recall if that was opposed or not. I gotta think it's probably not opposed, but why are we going for another continuance?
Your Honor, this is a case where they're requiring a lot of restitution, and she currently lives in Florida, and she's got a better job, and she's been trying to accumulate some of that restitution so we can get a better offer that's on the table now.
Mr. Sutton, let me ask, how much is the restitution and then I guess what's the rec?
Your Honor, the restitution is $53,055. And the rec is 10 years, probated 10 years. However, if she were to pay $25,000 up front, the rec would be 5 years deferred. I'm sorry, 5 years to probated 5 years.
So where are we on the restitution, Mr. Herrera?
Last I heard, Your Honor, my clients were trying to accumulate some more money. They had like $5,000 or $6,000 the last time I talked to them.
We're set for trial. I mean, I don't know that we've made any headway on the restitution, and I'm not going to keep this case going forever just to see, little to no movement. Ms. Rios, what is the holdup?
Only because of my financial situation. I'm barely making enough for my rent and my bills, so I'm trying to get this extra money, this extra job, so I can try to save some money to
Okay.
try to
Let me go ahead and talk to your attorney. Mr. Herrera, we're not making any headway, and I don't know if there's going to ever be a change in that rec to make this more likely to be resolvable. I mean, ultimately, are we talking about a trial or not?
Your Honor, let me just tell you, if they're not able to come up with a restitution, then we will demand a jury trial.
Well, it doesn't sound like, we've got this reset. Let me see. We went past April. You're on your second jury trial that you're asking for a reset. I don't know that there has been any increase. In other words, there has not been a change in the amount of restitution that we're saying is able to be paid up front. So Mr. Sutton, what is your state's position on the motion for continuance?
Your Honor, Ms. Delaney indicated that she had no opposition to the motion for continuance.
I'm going to give you 6 months, Ms. Rios. We're going to reset your trial for 6 months based on the continuance. The continuance you all have requested has been granted. So that's going to put us to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Myrna, let's get her a date. We'll actually go into May. Let's go into May. That'll get us past tax time and see where we are. If there has not been movement, Mr. Herrera, then you absolutely will have your jury trial.
Hey, thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
All right, we'll get you your settings. Thank you very much. Who's next?
On page 8, Judge, middle of page 8,
Mhm.
in cause number 2018 0D01930, State of Texas versus Adrian Garcia. Announcement of council, please.
Javier Salcedo, Assistant District Attorney, Your Honor. We are not ready to proceed on the motion.
Alyssa Nava on behalf of Mr. Garcia, Your Honor. And I did speak with the court coordinator earlier today, Ms. Myrna, and there hasn't been a motion filed. It was said, I tried to follow up with my client ultimately to see if he was hiring me for the motion. He is. So I just need time to actually file it. I believe it was set because probation is in agreement with his discharge, but I know that we need to file the motion.
What? Let me
Sorry.
see. Okay, no, I
I'm not
understand what you're telling me. I just, that last thing threw me for a loop. And the report is somewhere else. Carla, okay, so we're gonna, yeah, if it wasn't filed, this is basically probation's, was it probation's request? Carla, did you all make the request to come in on an early discharge?
I believe Ms. Willis had submitted an email before to the court. It was then scheduled. I'm not sure, Mr. Marujo can tell me if Ms. Willis is in the wait room.
No, Ms. Peña.
Yes, Your Honor, because she was supposed to cover this hearing.
Let me see.
But let me see if I can find the email.
Here we go. I think I just found it at this time.
Very slow.
Let me see what my. Okay, so do we have, let me go back to, let's see. Do we have another setting or no? I wouldn't imagine we do.
Oh, Your Honor, I don't believe so.
Okay, so then we'll just wait to hear from you. I just thought.
Case. I'm not sure if you recall this case.
I do. This is the guy that got picked up over there near Dallas. He was partying, should have been out of town. We got him back. We had issues. We had issues with him doing his days ACOP. That's so. Without saying more, I'll go ahead and allow Ms. Nava to do what she wants to do in terms of anything that might be filed, and then we'll set it then. I was trying to look up my response to Ms. Willis because I can only imagine what my response was, but not seeing my email that quickly. I'll just leave it at that and let Ms. Nava do her job.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thanks so much. So,
Thank you.
all right, who's next?
Ms. Pages is back, Judge. Hi.
Okay.
Hi, Judge. Okay, is Mr. Lozano back?
Yes.
Okay, Judge, so he indicated to me that he did in fact attend TAP. He said that the first day he missed because he was confused on the date. The
So
second one he
let me
was,
just call it. I'm sure Erica's taking it down, but we're back on the record in clause number 2020-0D04283. Okay, sorry, I missed. Go ahead.
okay. And the second date, he indicated that he attended about 30 to 40 minutes, but his phone stopped. And so that was considered a miss because he didn't fully complete it. He was in communication with his caseworker, Marie Irigoyen, and she said that it was okay. He does have an appointment tomorrow, October 26th, scheduled. And then as far as the probation officer, Judge, he had been trying to communicate with Ms. Valverde, and she was not providing, I guess, the information that he needed, and at one point even hung up on him. And so he made contact with his old probation officer to try to get help. And
Which is
so
who?
I think it was Mr. Escobedo.
Good
Was-
evening, Your Honor.
Yes. So he did indicate that he has been clean, Judge, with the UAs, and so he is trying. I know that the AHN is new. That is a new modification, I guess, that he was screened for that. So he did want the court to know that, Judge.
Okay, so Ms. Valverde is here, Mr. Escobedo is here. Who wants to start first? And I guess just basically with this most recent history, trying to get him on.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. I would like to go ahead and, present to the court
Go ahead.
as far as any sort of updates regarding Mr. Lozano's case, Your Honor. So regarding from the last previous hearing, Judge, we were doing a follow-up with his completion, his progress with the TAP program, and then also his completion of the EHN appointment service that we got for him, Judge. And I'm showing here, Your Honor, on September 28th, of this year. I apologize, Judge. Actually, it's on September 30th. I misspoke, Your Honor. I ended up receiving a notification from CSO Garcia Juarez regarding his EHN appointment. She did have a couple comments to state, Your Honor, in terms of his compliance during the appointment. It was quoted that he stated that he didn't have a choice to do it, that they prescribed him the medication, but he never took it. And the second statement is that he attended the EHN screening just due to probation's requirement of him attending. So he wasn't deemed for any sort of treatment due to the EHN appointment. So at this moment in time, we do have him participating in the TAP program.
Okay, but is that Ms. Valverde where you come in? Because I thought that those were the appointments that we're having issues with. So EHN, nothing happened there.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, but
He
it was,
attended-
they I guess made an evaluation that he was not to have any treatment.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, the usual process for TAP is when they do get admitted by the counselor, the officer does request an appointment with me. I give him the appointment so they can give to the client. He was given an appointment, but he did call me on a day that it was not his appointment. I still did receive his call, and I explained to him the reason why the transfer. I'm the TAP officer. I have closer contact with the counselors, and I was explaining him everything. I started going through his compliance, and he wasn't too happy. And he said nobody told him that. He didn't agree with the TAP. He hasn't used any drugs. He hasn't used any alcohol. And he didn't know why he was in it. He was forced into it. And he was just very combative with me and interrupting me. So I did tell him that I was going to talk to Mr. Escobedo, and that Mr. Escobedo would give him a call back. I did not hang up with him. I did tell him goodbye. I introduced myself. I explained the procedure with the whole TAP program and why the transfer. I provided all the information he needed. I did tell him about his missed sessions, and he just wasn't having it. That was the only time that he contacted me. He never left me other messages. And he's been communicating with Mr. Escobedo since.
Is that right, Mr. Escobedo? Did he express to you what was his concerns were, I guess, in dealing with the TAP appointments, and what did you advise him?
Yes, Your Honor. I went ahead and notified Mr. Lozano that he was being placed in the TAP program due to the, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was due to his positive self-admittance that happened. Believe, you know what, I misspoke, Your Honor. I went ahead and I advised Mr. Lozano that he was being placed in the TAP program due to the assessment that was completed with the TAP counselor. I went ahead and also informed him that whenever he's, communicating with any of the CSCD staff, that he has to ensure that, he's maintaining some level of professionalism, just so they're both able to communicate as effectively as possible. So it was one of the things that I went ahead and mentioned him when I processed him for his monthly reporting for this month, Your Honor.
He failed to test on September 5th and September 29th, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And non-compliant with TAP. All right, Ms. Pages, do you have anything else?
Nothing further, Judge. I guess if we can just get a recommendation if the state is leaning towards Revo at this point, or if I can know where the court is leaning towards.
Mr. Salcedo?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, we are leaning to adjudicate him guilty and revoke his probation. With all the laundry list of non-compliance, it doesn't seem like he wants to do either probation or TAP or comply. So we're looking at maybe 6 months state jail, given that he doesn't have a long history.
The recommendation from probation, at least on this, is to admonish him. I don't think that's enough at this point, although I don't know. He has an appointment tomorrow. What is the appointment tomorrow?
Mr. Lozano, what is your appointment for tomorrow?
I have been going to my sessions. I've been doing everything
Mr.
compliant.
Lozano.
That's why.
Mr.
That's not
Lozano,
the question. The question, and honestly,
Yes.
probation, you don't have this appointment documented? I don't know who would have it. There's something that he's set for tomorrow?
TAP appointment.
I can ask the counselor really quick, Your Honor.
Okay.
Judge, would you consider a jail sanction?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he's gonna, is he working?
I
Your
believe
Honor.
he is, Judge.
What does he do?
He's currently working at Wing Daddy's Sauce House, Your Honor, on 1201 Airway Boulevard.
Had we done a previous jail commitment with him?
I believe that we have, Your Honor.
No, I don't think we have, Judge. The last time he was picked up on the court's bench warrant and he was in there for quite some time, but it wasn't an actual jail commitment.
You know what? I am also showing that he was picked up on the bench warrant. That would be correct, Your Honor.
So he's never had a jail commitment? No?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I think we've only had the previous rearrest that happened, and then the bench warrant that was served.
So while he's been on probation, let me just make sure. We had this animal case, but then we had an assault, family violence, both of which were dismissed, right? And
Yes, Your Honor.
he received no sanction here for that, right? Like we never did anything because of any rearrest or anything like that, other than time he may have spent in jail on a rearrest, right?
To my knowledge, no, Judge.
I just don't feel like he's going to comply. So what's the rec? You said 180 days, Mr. Salcedo?
That is correct, Your Honor. Is any thought, Ms. Page, is your client inclined to do that, or is he keeps raising his hand, but I just don't want to hear it.
My client wishes to work his program, Judge. He wants to get through it. It's a deferred, so it's not a conviction on his record. So that's kind of where we are at, Judge.
He's got 4 years. Yeah, I don't know. So, okay, for now, this is what we're gonna do. For now, he's gonna get a 30-day jail commitment. If he's working, you have his work schedule, Mr. Escobedo?
I do not, Your Honor, but I can go ahead and receive that information from Mr. Lozano.
So if he's working, I don't know that he has necessarily, how can I say, like normal hours? Do you know what hours does he work?
I believe he might close at work, Your Honor. So, you know, he might do maybe like 3 or 4 to 11, 12 o'clock.
All right. It's gonna be a 30-day jail commitment. He's gonna turn himself in this Friday. So 10/25, what are we looking at? The 28th. But I need to get confirmation of his work schedule. So based on that, that's how I'll determine the hours.
Yes, Your Honor. Did you want that in an email submission?
Sure, as soon as you can get it to me so I can get that order done today.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll go and
This
reach
is
out to
gonna
Mr.
be
Lozano.
for your non-compliance, Mr. Lozano. What is his TAP appointment is tomorrow, right?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Yes,
Okay.
Judge.
Okay. So we'll see if this gets any better. I don't know the hours yet, Ms. Pages. As soon as I do, I'll make sure to forward the order. Mr. Escobedo, if you can, when you email that, email it to the court and copy Ms. Pages on it, so I can get the order with the appropriate times.
Yes, Judge. We'll
Mr.
do.
Lozano wants to talk, Ms. Pages. So I'm whatever he wants to say. I don't know. It's up to you.
Mr. Lozano, I will give you a call later, okay?
All right, we're adjourned. If we need to come back, we can come back on Thursday, Ms. Pages, if there's details that are not workable, but I think through the email, we should be able to do that. Anyways, who's next?
Top of page 7, Judge.
Mhm.
But I don't see Ms. Jennifer Mendoza.
Was she required to appear?
I don't know, Judge. It's a review hearing.
I believe she checked in yesterday, Your Honor. Matthew
Did
Possible
check
still
in.
for Ms. Mendoza.
Did she check in yesterday?
Yes, Judge, she did.
Okay, let's go ahead.
In cause number 2022-0D03857, State of Texas versus Jennifer Mendoza. Announcement of council, please.
Javier Salcedo, Assistant District Attorney for the state, ready to proceed.
Matthew Pospisil for Ms. Mendoza, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
And we're scheduled for the arraignment and review hearing. We've got the waiver. Yeah, I think I looked at this one because we had this one while we were in trial. Was this that case, Mr. Pospisil? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
Your
so
Honor.
we'll just quickly pull up the bond order. That's the purpose for the review hearing. It's a DWI with a child under 15, and my memory tells me that I was okay to leave the bond order as is. The PR bond conditions. And I also received since then for this hearing, a good PR report. So nothing that would cause me to reevaluate. No, Carla, Miss Willis, I don't need anything from Miss Willis. Thank you. Let me just double check. Yeah, she's on a split bond. She has the interlock. She's using it. She's got the conditions. So I'm good with it. We're good to go. We should have our trial setting. Thank you, Mr. Pospisil. Who's next?
Judge, I called Mr. Serrano to log in. They were waiting on his client to show up at the office. And that's all we have right now for Zoom ready, Judge.
Okay.
Ms. Diaz, the in-person hearing, she's here.
Oh, okay. So who had her? Was it?
Myrna.